The United States is a nation of many stories. These are but a few of them. Jeans Field, 30 miles south of Las Vegas, Nevada. Claudia Jones is a flying instructor and a member of the Experimental Aircraft Association, an international organization with over 100,000 members. Their purpose is to foster technical developments for small craft, aviation safety, and sport flying.
Sorry I'm late. Sharp course for you. I know.
Claudia is here to give a flying lesson to 70-year-old Monte Koy.
Oh, yeah, so am I. It's a beautiful day. Let's check the leading edge around here. And why don't you catch that boat right there, and I'll get this one. I said, am I too old to learn to fly? And I've been at it ever since. And maybe I should say my ultimate goal. I have a little granddaughter. She's 10 years old now, and she says, hurry up, Nana, and come with that plane so I can ride with you. I suppose that'll be the biggest thrill of my life. Monty is a very dear lady, and she's determined not to grow old. I think that's one reason she wants to fly so badly.
In the United States, over 12,000 home-built aircraft are already flying, and approximately another 20,000 planes are being built in hangars, garages, and yards. Some enthusiasts take up to 10 years to build their own planes with their own hands. Before these planes are permitted to fly, they are inspected and must meet strict control standards established by the government. This rather odd-looking plane is called a breezy. It belongs to the local club. Its members built it together. There are about 30 breezies in the United States, and their design is purely for fun.
It's not like being enclosed in a nice, safe, secure-feeling cockpit. The pilot sits out in the middle of nowhere. It's a feeling of openness, such a oneness with the sky and the air. Sometimes you even forget you have a wing behind you. You even forget all of that airplane's following you because you're just sitting out on a little tiny seat in the middle of nowhere. This is an airplane that you fly by the seat of your pants. It doesn't have a lot of fancy instruments that you can watch. It's a feeling of exhilaration. You feel the wind beating in your face, and everything looks beautiful. It's kind of like leaving reality.
Like Claudia and Monte in Nevada, more and more pilots across the United States are finding that the best thing about flying is the incredible, exhilarating feeling of it, especially in planes they make themselves. These pulleys and gears are 150 years old. They are still running thanks to the hard work, ingenuity, and determination of Clyde Barton, proprietor of an unusual family business, mining, milling, and making products of soapstone. Winters are long and rugged in northern New England. Clyde Barton and his brothers were born and raised in this small village of Perkinsville, Vermont. Brother Bob owns a restaurant. Brother Fred a gasoline station. And Clyde has his mill, the Vermont Soapstone Company. Great blocks of soapstone are hewn from the Barton's own quarry in late summer, when the ground is softest. Later, they are trucked to the mill one by one as needed. Judy Barton works at the mill along with her husband. She keeps the accounts, handles their advertising, runs the small gift shop, and helps make the soapstone products. The shop's offerings also reflect the craftsmanship of local artists, adept at carving the softest and most malleable of stones. Soapstone is a form of talc with enough iron content to hold it together. The value of the stone lies in its unique properties. It can be worked as easily as wood. It is impervious to acid. It retains heat, and it is fireproof. In the early 19th century, water power was used to run the mill. 100 years later, when construction of a dam ended that operation, Clyde Barton built a new mill and moved the old machinery piece by piece to the new location. Diesel power now runs the mill. Clyde and Judy Barton, along with 2 assistants, do all the work by hand. The heat-retaining properties of soapstone are gaining new relevance with man's efforts to conserve the Earth's energy. And new customers are rediscovering the products of a bygone era. Griddles, boot dryers, bun baskets, tabletops, fireplaces, and most importantly, stoves. Part of the success of Clyde Barton's Vermont Soapstone Company lies in the usefulness of its products. The other part, his own determination. It's hard work, but Clyde Barton wouldn't have it any other way. The National Council of Afro-American Artists in Boston, Massachusetts, was originally founded to offer a quality education in the arts to neighborhood children. Later, it was expanded so that those who learn here could practice professionally. Its founder believed that art should open the world to all peoples. Art should be the key that enlarges the individual's ability to cope with the world, to understand it and oneself.
Well turned out in the hip, ladies and gentlemen. And stay.
For my people everywhere. Singing their slave songs repeatedly, bending their knees humbly to an unseen power, washing, ironing.
Beginning with movements and exercises, the children soon relate their movement to the interpretation of a poem, an idea, a song.
Touching, dragging along.
For them, it is also an important form of communication.
Never reaping, never knowing, and never understanding.
And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and first and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and first and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2, 3, 5th and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1.
Adult classes in ballet help train a whole new generation of performing artists.
It's not somewhere in space. It's always to the audience. Those are the people for whom you're dancing. Let's do it again up to a dancing tempo.
Outstanding teachers from around the world give quality education in the arts.
Preparation 1.
Using their African heritage as a base, these students have been influenced by European and American cultures.
Watch your audience. 2 and lift. 2 and 1 and 2 and finish and hold.
1, 2, 3, 4. What are you doing? You come over here to this goon. One goon. The last one you said. It's only one beat here. That's one count. That's all. So let's start again.
Olatunji believes he is doing more than teaching them to play the drums. He speaks to students of the necessity to be excellent at whatever they do. He seeks to create a sense of excitement in his classes that will carry over into their lives.
Right.
Whether in drama or dance, pantomime or voice, the National Center of Afro-American Artists provides a stage upon which these students can reach maturity as performers. The National Center of Afro-American Artists is a cultural center that provides a valuable and necessary service at a community level. What effect is pollution having on the intricate web of organisms known as coral? What can man do to promote the growth of coral reefs? Instead of polluting our seas, can man play a constructive role? Can man increase the abundance of tiny organisms, called plankton, that are the beginning of the sea's entire animal food chain? Are these microscopic creatures so delicate that they will respond to the slightest variation in their aquatic environment? These are some of the questions being asked at the Hawaii Institute of Marine Biology, where scientists are studying the nature and management of tropical marine life. Anyone interested in cultivating marine animals must have a lively interest in coral, for coral is the natural home of thousands of species. On land, it took civilization thousands of years to go from hunting and gathering to husbandry and agriculture. But to provide the world's exploding population with sufficient protein, marine biologists like Robert May believe we must make the transition in the sea from fishing to scientific aquaculture in a few decades. To do this, we must cultivate fish like these maui that convert feed efficiently to extra weight, grow well in captivity, and produce large quantities of eggs year-round. Once the eggs are hatched, groups of young maui are raised in solutions of different temperature and salinity. Dr. T.R. Rao, a visiting scientist from India, is conducting this experiment to determine which combination best promotes conversions of food to body weight. Tuna is not harvested on a large scale by Hawaii due to the lack of live bait. Dr. Wayne Baldwin hopes to solve this problem by growing this bait and supplying it to commercial fisheries. His studies have shown that mollies breed in captivity 7 months a year, stay alive in salt or fresh water, and reach good bait size in 2 months. Next will come extensive testing at sea to determine how attractive mollies are as tuna bait. Wide-scale aquaculture will be impossible without nutritious, economical feed. This experimental mix of soybean, fish meal, brewer's yeast, and corn has excellent characteristics. It keeps well without refrigeration and doesn't disintegrate in water. This freshwater prawn has doubled its body weight on this high-protein diet. George Ballas puts a traceable substance in the feed. By collecting the prawn's solid waste and measuring its content, Ballas can learn exactly which ingredients have been absorbed. Another approach to designing feed is to remove a section of the fish's intestine to study which nutrients are best absorbed. If the seas of our planet become an abundant source of new food, it will be in part because of the basic work of the Hawaii Institute of Marine Biology.
When I'm out taking pictures, I normally just look around until I react to something. I might see a single beautiful stone, or I might get a chance for a composition with a stone and a tree.
The man with the camera is Ansel Adams. He is not a man to be rushed unnecessarily. Since he was given a box brownie almost 60 years ago, he has carried his camera up mountain peaks and passes, over glaciers and tidal flats, through every American national park, always led on by a profound and fundamental reverence for the forms of nature.
I prefer black and white photography because it's furthest from reality. Black and white is really an abstract medium to begin with, and you're only limited by the optical rendition of the lens. I can control values, texture, contrast, and many qualities. Most of my work has been done in black and white.
In nature photography, one thinks of the subject as static, but this is not correct. What moves continuously is the light, the miraculous natural light. Ansel Adams has attuned himself in a reverent, almost mystical way to every conceivable kind of light. The right light transforms an object into an image at the instant he clicks the shutter. Once in a great while, he just happens on such instants. Then he must work quickly before the light changes. Usually he has waited for days, even weeks, knowing what he wants and recognizing it when it comes. A photograph is made, not taken, a precept that is basic to the way Adams goes about his work. Few photographers have approached their craft more seriously or have accomplished such technical mastery. It did not happen overnight. From the time he started in photography, it took him 7 years before he had a negative he liked, and that long again before he felt certain of his photographic style. After 40 more years, his apprenticeship has never ended. His early training as a pianist taught him the value of technique.
If you want to be a pianist, you practice 7 or 8 hours a day until your keyboard technique is capable of everything you might demand of it. If you want to be a photographer, you practice until the camera is an extension of eye and hand and mind.
In Adams' photographs, however formal or abstract the design, a warm vibration comes through, a spiritual identification with the world. They are hymns of praise to what is delicate and what is lasting.
I believe the artist can accomplish most on the agenda for survival by creating beauty and order, and by emphasizing the essential dignity of the human mind and spirit. To me, a negative is like a musical score, and each print is like a performance of that score, never precisely the same. I think the prints I make today are technically better. They're more brilliant, and I'm more satisfied with them. But sometimes people say, well, the original old print had a certain quality to it that the new one hasn't. Well, that's part nostalgia, and it may have a very different, perhaps a softer quality than the old print.
Young people are always welcome at his home in Carmel, California. They have read his books, and they have seen his photographs. For years, since he became well known, he has held open house every day at 5 p.m. Young photographers bring their work for criticism because he is an articulate and inspirational teacher. He keeps no secrets. What he knows is available for anyone who can learn it. After half a century of creative identification with nature, Ansel Adams has become an important spokesman for the environmental movement.
Not long ago, the artist related almost exclusively to the exalted domains of religion. He now has an equally exalted relationship and obligation to the survival of the world. It is our responsibility to assist young people to make a better world than that which we have designed and structured.
A friend once said of him, "It is good to know that there is an Ansel Adams loose somewhere in this world of ours." At 72, Ansel Adams goes out with his camera less often than before, but when he does, he is, as always, a natural link in the American landscape.
You know, sometimes I think I get there just when God's ready to have somebody click the shutter.